It's drawing towards the end of the season, and your season is pretty much getting ready to wrap up for HappyTunes, isn't it?
Pretty much is. As you and I know it, when I show up here, usually it means that it's pretty much the end of the season.
That's true, right?
It matches reggae. It's yeah, we're in celebratory mode at this point.
Absolutely. And you've got your ski and storage thing going on right now for, how long is that special going on?
So very popular program indeed. As we close the season, most people who tend to plan ahead a bit will drop off their skis for what we call the tune and store. We've done that for years. Terrific program. It allows you to save a fair amount of money as if you were to do things separately. Folks drop off their skis, we tune them, we wrap them up, we put a thick coat of storage wax on them, take the binding tension down. They stay at HappyTunes, dry storage all summer, and then next fall, at some point, usually right around homecoming, folks will bring in a boot and drop off a boot and tell us to go ahead and awaken those skis, because next time we're up, we're skiing. So at that point, we scrape them off, we put a new coat of ready-to-ski wax, we recalibrate the bindings, function test them, and get them all ready to go. The whole program's $75.
Yeah.
And again, good savings, and it's the insurance essentially that everything is ready to go when it needs to.
Right. So as summer approaches, what happens in your world? You've got some tours. Tell us a little bit about your wilderness tours.
Yeah, thanks. You're right. When summer approaches, I have the good fortune of being able to close HappyTunes down, and I put my summer hat on, which takes me to the woods. So it's called, because everything needs a name, I guess, it's called Maine Kayak Expeditions. The way to contact us on that is still through HappyTunes, so 235-TUNE-8863. And that's something that I've done for over 25 years now, and a great way for me to recharge my batteries for next summer as well, but also to just take to the woods and have some refreshing time with what turns out to be, and has been lately, mostly youth groups. It doesn't have to be, but it's mostly youth groups. So what I like to do is wilderness trips. We take to the woods, and I use either whitewater kayaking or sea kayaking as the additional medium to create the experience. You know how some will use canoeing or hiking or rock climbing, all kinds of different tools out there. Well, the primary tool, of course, is taking to the woods. And then as a secondary attribute, we like to use either whitewater kayaking or ocean kayaking, which are both really powerful educational tools.
Sure.
Very strong.
And when do these actually take place?
So I do a variety of trips, but the ones I'm going to mention now are the ones that I call open enrollment versus contracted trips that pre-existing groups might put together. So we'll do a 2-week trip. This is a whitewater kayaking trip that will start on. I'm going to look at my notes back here. It will start on July 5th. It'll go from July 5th through the 20th, so a little bit over 2 weeks. Whitewater kayaking, this is going to be for teenagers, ages 14 and up. No previous experience is required in either wilderness camping or whitewater kayaking. And it's also all-inclusive. We provide all the equipment, all the gear, all that one needs to be prepared with to enroll in one of those trips is their own sleeping bag, sleeping mat, and then their just own personal clothing. Everything else is provided. So that's 2 weeks. There's a great introduction in some sorts of to wilderness tripping that we do using the local resources here, using Flagstaff Lake, which is a fantastic area to explore. That we do with a slightly younger age group, 13 and up, usually 13 to 15. These are all co-ed trips as well. That one will take place, let's see, this is July 26th through August 1st, so shorter, a week long. And on that one, we'll explore Flagstaff Lake using sea kayaks, and we'll include a day hike of Bigelow as well. It's all, again, all-inclusive, and really, really, it's a great experience being able to just take out to the woods and explore this area that we have right in our backyard.
Do you tell them to leave their cell phones home?
I tell them to leave their cell phones home, and there's a very simple argument for it, is wherever we go, there's no signal. We make sure that wherever we go, there's no signal, so you might as well leave it home. Leave the cell phones home, leave the dumbbells and other lift equipment out, leave basically all of the regular stuff home. No need.
No need.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you'll provide them with what they need, the information, and how to do it. So do you get people that have never kayaked before that go on these trips?
It happens quite often.
Yeah.
Again, it's not a requirement. There's one trip that we do that for which it is a requirement. It's also about a 10-day trip, and that's a more advanced trip. Usually it's returnees. They'll come onto that trip. That's going to take place from July 12th through the 24th. But otherwise, the other ones are, again, it doesn't matter whether or not you've had experience, because it all starts the same way. Mm-hmm. And although we do a lot of paddling every day, and we'll learn a lot about paddling, it's really secondary to the overall wilderness experience, which, essentially what it means is taking a small group into the woods and figuring out how to live and coexist together for a week or 2 weeks in this case.
Right.
Yeah.
Stay with us. We are going to come right back and talk to you more about these great trips and when they take place and how you can get involved. We'll talk with Lionel from HappyTunes. Let's talking about some of these wilderness trips that he is offering up throughout the summer. And to take part in those, you just need to contact you at HappyTunes. No website, just call you, right?
It's just either call at HappyTunes 235-8863 or via email. So most likely we'll end up communicating via email. Mm-hmm. That's happy at tdstlme.net.
There you go.
tdstlme.net. Yeah.
Do you still have availability open? Is there still, I'm sure a lot of people come back every year, don't they?
There's a fair amount of returnees. I try to balance things out a bit, so I hold off on finalizing enrollment. What makes a wilderness trip more often than not is the chemistry of a group. Now, you can never really plan on that, but there's a little bit of foreplanning that can take place.
Sure.
So I usually try to get a couple of returnees in there, try to mix it up. The challenge often is to get, interestingly enough, is to get girls on board. For some reason, boys tend to be more inclined to doing the wilderness thing than girls.
Interesting.
Well, that's what I'm finding in maybe it's more specific to whitewater. And it is interesting because, as it turns out, more often than not, and I don't know why that is either, but girls will tend to do very well with whitewater kayaking once they get into it. The sense of balance, the sense of line. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the answer is to that one, but
wow.
It just happens.
Yeah. So there are availabilities for those trips. They are co-ed, yep. And I see what you mean about the chemistry. You do have to kind of work a little bit to put a group together because you don't know what the chemistry is going to be like.
You never know what it's going to be like, and yet I must say it's the magic of the wilderness trip.
Right.
It's the magic of the river. It's the task at hand. It's the day that rises that brings about the challenges that one can never really plan on, that really create the experience. I've got a pretty good model, developed over the past 30 years, really, of integrating the group with various responsibilities. So they're simple tasks, but they're the ones that, and I think that's what makes the wilderness trip that much so much more special. Everyone has tasks, they're revolving tasks, whether it's cooking or cleaning or filtering water or planning the itinerary, navigating for the day, chopping wood, sawing wood. There are things that just need to be done.
Right.
You can't slack off. You have to be involved. And we just do a system of crews that rotates like this. Mm-hmm. That turns out to be a very powerful way to develop that sense of ownership that the kids have for the trip.
Experiencing that together, I got to believe that there's some lifelong friendships that develop from this.
Yeah, long-lasting friendships for sure, and long-lasting memories. It's I know it sounds a bit stereotypical, but every year I hear of kids 10, 15, 20 years later who remember so fondly their time on this or that trip. Mm-hmm. The experiences of climbing Bigelow in the middle of a storm and getting to the top, and everything opens up and you can see the whole expanse of Flagstaff Lake at your feet and retrace your path for the past few days and plan ahead for your path for the next few days. Mm-hmm. is amazing. Or being on the Rapid River, this fantastic gem of a river, unique in the Northeast really. It takes some removing yourself from it, some years to go by to realize how unique and powerful that experience was.
Right. What kind of wildlife do you see?
Yeah, we see a lot of wildlife. I mean, this is Maine, so obviously there's the moose, there's the bear, but there's also a lot of the smaller animals. Occasionally we'll see minks, we'll see otters, we'll see depending on which area of the state we're in, of course. ospreys, eagles. You can stand on the side of a river and watch an osprey do his business of gathering fish for hours at a time. It never ends. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite trip?
I've got to say, for me, it's got to be the Rapid River. That 2-week trip that we do. We've done it for years, and I've got a special bond with that river. I see it capture, romantically capture the heart of everybody who has ever been on it. There's so many challenges that it offers, combined with the camping and the whitewater kayaking itself, that you just can't help but build a very strong bond with that place. Yeah. Rapid River is fantastic.
And these trips are available, and check it out. Of course, the wilderness trips, and they take place throughout the summer. There are availabilities. Call HappyTunes and get involved. I think this is something that someone would remember for the rest of their life, obviously. A great trip like that, and the friendships as well. And it's something definitely, it sounds great. I'm sold. I'm sold. What else? You just need to bring your sleeping bag, and that's it.
That's it. I mean, I'll give you an equipment list, which will include sleeping bag, sleeping pad, of course, and what to bring in for clothing. That is not unlike ski gear, actually. From the long on the wear to basically being prepared to spending nights in the woods, camping, tenting.
Fantastic. Well, you enjoy your summer.
Thank you.
And reggae.